Hello, and welcome to the Sunday meditation of the Light Institute in the Sanctuary of Light. And this is a special Sunday because it's Easter Sunday. And whether it's Passover for some of you or the celebration of spring, it is a time that's been marked for thousands of years that talks about the renewal, the new growth, the changes that occur in spring. And it's been celebrated and honored in connection with Mother Nature and, of course, with the divine energies. And so I love this celebration because I love this connection that speaks to us of the higher levels. And so in this meditation, in the third part, where we always pick a certain situation or place on the planet, what we're going to choose today is the place inside us that, like the Christed energy, can find the power, the courage, the consciousness to not only reinvent ourselves, but to grow anew, to expand into a new octave of what it is to be ourselves, our true selves, and to be human on the planet at this time. So let us begin with the higher self, because that is where we receive all of the grace and the wisdom and the guidance of our lives. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath into your body and ask your divine higher self to take form. It's your own inner voice. It's the intuitive essence of your soul. Whatever form comes to you. A light, a being, a tree, an animal. Whatever form. And ask your higher self to touch your body where you hold your divine essence at this moment. And imagine the touch. Bring your conscious awareness to that place and breathe in through that touch, so that you're receiving that opening and that point of reference. And now draw your higher self in through that point in your body. And sit in meditation as your own higher self, as your true self. Remember that you can pause this meditation so that you can continue in this first part as we go on. Om. Take a deep breath into your body and draw white light, the radiant light of the cosmos, the energy of communication, the language of the cosmos. Draw that white light in through the top of your head, down through your body into your stomach, your solar plexus, and laser that white light out across the planet, back into the sky, up into the cosmos. And draw it down again and feel that energy entering you, quickening your frequency. Radiate it out and back into the cosmos, and continue to allow that flow through you. This is the art of radiance. And allow your body to align to it and to be the vehicle that directs it to you, through you, and from you. And breathe deeply into your body. And ask your higher self to touch the place in your body where you hold that Christed energy, that energy that transmutes, that transforms, that ascends, the brilliant light of illumination, the energy that brought love to this planet? Where do you hold that kind of frequency which will allow you to grow again, to bring new ways, to bring a new self into your reality, your true self? Feel your higher self touch that place in your body so that it awakens the courage in you to change and to grow anew, as does all of nature. And breathe into that touch and imagine again the energy of the Christed love, the energy of new growth, expansion of sense of self. And just keep calling that into you as you sit in this meditation. Breathe deeply and open your eyes. And in this second part is the knowings, where we converse about the questions that are dear to your hearts. And so we love that from around the world we've been getting questions that we can utilize for this segment of knowings. And Allison will read the first of the 3 questions that have been chosen for today.
Chris, will you please discuss the relevance of Easter to humans given our current global situation?
Oh my. I would say that never has this been as important of an Easter and what it represents, again, taking it beyond just Christianity or beyond Passover, beyond any of those points of reference that we usually use in terms of our focus for this moment. But what it represents that can support us now is to turn our attention to love. How it is that we can love more and love better, so that we, through this energy that's occurring, we really wield that kind of powerful love so that we are inclusive, so that we care about each and every human and all of life on this planet. That was the teaching of the great avatar, Jesus the Christ, that Christed energy that showed that life and death are illusionary energies, that we can take what we have experienced and ascend to a higher octave. And it's very important for us to contemplate that. I feel that we want to use the energy of all those great avatars and teachers who have come here and think about, what would you like to do if you could do these things? Would you like to heal the sick? Would you like to change the reality of this planet? Would you like to bring new currents of, that would be considered miracles to this planet? So one of the important things about this is that for the first time, you cannot go to your church or your temple or whatever it is to receive the blessing, to feel that you belong, that at this time, because of what's happening, we are invited to move inside ourselves and find that energy. Find the energy of the priest in you. Find the energy of the healer in you. Find the energy that's beyond the limitation of aloneness. We don't need to be lonely. We can use the beautiful silence, perhaps, that you have as you have space to listen to your inner voice, to use that on these higher octaves for the world. And this is what's being offered to us right now, that for the first time, instead of all of the external trappings of how we celebrate a point of reference, those energies must come from within and back within each and every one of us. And so it's a kind of graduation that I find happening at this time. And we want to use this in a bigger way. We want to, as we did in the beginning part of our meditation, find that place in us that holds those powerful divine energies and wield them. We have to practice them. And how do we practice a miracle or the healing or the changing or the growing? We do it through the power of our consciousness. We imagine it. We focus on it. And that's what brings from the unmanifest a manifestation. That manifestation can be a new kind of world. A world in which no one is hungry and no one is sick and no one is left. That we can feel the connection between us all. And that is what this means. And this is why we celebrate this kind of life. A life that has more opportunity, more power than we realized before. Give that to yourself now. And the second question, Allison.
This question comes from Santa Fe, New Mexico. And he says, my question relates to not overwhelming the internal world with the external pressures and fears. Chris, can you speak to some of the challenges people should be looking at internally at a time like this, and how to connect to their expansiveness when they are confined, but also not to lose access to guiltless joy even among great social upheaval, fear, and uncertainty?
Well, that's a many-part question. I love the ending, so I'm going to start with that. Guiltless, what was that? Guiltless joy? Guiltless joy. Imagine that. Because what has been placed so often through our religions is that element of guilt. So if we have a guiltless joy, it means that even in this upheaval, even that people are dying, it doesn't mean you can't be joyous. And focus your joy, again, through the abundance of what there is. Nature is growing. Nature is whispering to us in ways that have never been before. What's being offered to us is the expansion of the self. Not the loneliness of the self, not the separation, but the opportunity to expand your conscious awareness. And this is why what you're talking about there, to that challenge of going within. And instead of going within and saying, I'm alone here and I can't connect with anyone. No, shift to a higher octave and know that through your consciousness and your intuition and through your purpose, you can send energy to others, you can feel their connection back and forth. It's up to you to choose to do that. And so the challenges of being alone are to shift away from that emotional energy of who's going to help me. No, you're going to help you. And you have within you all of those qualities, all of the senses, all of the knowing and the wisdom to utilize at this time to bring your purpose into an octave that says, I belong to this world and I have something to give to this world, rather than the emotional chatter. So what needs to happen is to not be overwhelmed by what's going on in the outside world, but be strong and, how shall I respond to this? I'm going to send light over here. I send my love. I am caring about myself and the world and the beings within it. And so the challenge is simply to lift up above the usual emotional closed off circuit and realize that you are a part of the cosmos. And as a part of the cosmos, you can magnetize to you energies that allow you to feel as you have that space, maybe of silence, to listen deeply within, and to find the giggle, because there is a cosmic giggle that goes on. And part of that giggle is humans. You think you don't have it? You think you cannot? I remember a little message that I saw one time with one of my children. You can because you think you can. So let us move to that higher octave and embrace the joy. Don't feel that you have to be sad because of what's happening, but extend from you that energy that gives others inspiration, which is, look at the beauty over here. Look at the possibility there. Look at the joy that belongs within us. It's not either or. And the more joy we have, the more power we have to face what is happening. Allow yourself that joy. Allison.
And this question comes from right here in Galisteo. Chris, why do you think the teachings of all the great avatars have not taken humanity to an elevated octave of consciousness that would not allow for or need a global crisis to create an awakening?
It's so true that we wait until it's almost impossible to fix it. And then we use the infinite qualities that we have as humans and within our consciousness to fix it. And we're at that place right now. And so it's a perennial habit that humans have to fall into the pit of impossibility and then to pull it out at the last second. And that's what time it is right now. And one of the reasons that we wait so long is that on the one level, we are a group animal. We like to follow, we like to see what the other ones are doing. We have that sense of, I know one unless I've been approved of. That comes from our psychogenetic inheritance from our primordial bodies. It says, if you're not chosen, you can't survive. So it's an old throwback to olden times. And I must say that our institutions, our governments, and especially our religions have amplified that perspective that you cannot do it, that only the chosen one can do it. And I am here to say that you are the chosen one. Each one of us is chosen by ourselves, by our divine essence, because we're here. We're not an accident here. And so we need to let go of that. I can't connect to the divine source. I cannot perform the miracle. It has to be someone who is ordained as that. No, it is not true. And that needs to fall away. That only those who have studied the scriptures and only those who have some special knowing. At any moment, you may have never even thought about your spiritual self. And right now, that spiritual energy, the essence in you, is beginning to unfold. It's beginning to come to the fore. So allow yourself to imagine and say yes to, I can be a part of this time and this healing of this planet and these beings that are upon it. And I don't have to be perfect. I don't have to have a perfect history. I can choose at any moment through the power of my consciousness and the power of my human heart to say, yes, I can do it and I can be it. And let go of that only someone else, bigger, better than you. Every human holds the divine spark, and it doesn't matter what we do, the soul can never be damaged. The spirit wobbles back and forth, but the soul is never damaged. So let go of any guilt, let go of any past that makes you think that you are not up to the task. You were born for it. And right now, collectively, we have placed ourselves, we've created this space that asks us to leap into the light and demonstrate who we truly are. With that, I applaud you, I honor you, and I send you my deepest, deepest love. Until next time.